Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Krashy, and today we're going to be diving into another tier list video. Now this one we were actually talking about on stream last night, so maybe pop by the stream sometime, but we were actually talking about a jungle tier list. Now I don't know why I haven't done this yet. I'm kind of trying to take this like jungle content creator-y spot, so let's dive into it. I just hit masters on my main account, which I mostly jungle on, so let's see what we can do. Alright, so here we are back into the good old Photoshop, and I've imported a bunch of characters. As I said, I'm making my own tier list, so you're in Photoshop view with me, but let's go ahead and work our way down the list. Machamp, and this is getting hot and heavy. Boom, S tier jungler. Not even kidding, this guy is insane. To keep it, brief, he's got suppression, he's got the cross dash thing that I can't remember the name of. He comes online, gets very, very strong at like level 5 when he evolves, and he's just nuts. His ultimate is nuts, his team fight is nuts, his mobility is insane, his ability to escape, engage, win team fights, dive the back line, he is crazy. I actually think that he is, objectively speaking, I think he's the best jungler in the entire game right now, because I think he fits a lot of team comps and jungles very, very well. Really, really crazy. All right, Lucario. So Lucario is an all-rounder that I'm not super crazy about when it comes to jungle. Now, I don't think that he's not effective in jungle, and I feel like it sucks to put him in B tier, but the thing is that I think that there are just better picks. He's a great pick. The thing about Lucario is that as all-arounders go, I actually think that he's really good in lane too. So the good thing about Lucario is that if you're looking at this list to like potentially buy someone, Lucario is a great pick, because if you pick him, you can jungle him and you can lane him. But honestly, the other all-rounders, they're kind of not so great in lane. So Lucario may not be the best jungler on the list, and again, B tier is not bad by any means, but he's a very versatile pick. So I think Lucario's great champion, really good jungler, just not quite A tier. All right, Greninja. So here's the thing about Greninja. I'm going to put Greninja jungle on A tier. He's actually an insane jungler. And here's the thing. He's the only attacker that makes this list. Not technically true. Cinderella is coming up later. He's the only attacker that I think can really hold his weight as an A tier jungler. I think that Cinderella could pull it off too, but for different reasons. We're going to get to that. The thing about Greninja is that you have to build a team comp around him. And so if you're going into solo queue, like hard locking Greninja for jungle, it's just not going to work great. It'll work, like physically it'll work if the team comp kind of plays around you, if people let you have the jungle, if they don't try to like double up roles with you. So he's an amazing pick. I think he's actually one of the best junglers in the game. I think he's got great clear. He's a very versatile, quick, speedy, like almost speedster like character. Hybrid, ranged, and melee. Like he's got a phenomenal kit, but it just takes the right team comp. So when it comes to how good is he and whether or not you should pick him and how, whether or not you should buy him for jungle, he's a great pick. A tier level pick in my opinion, but I just don't think you're gonna play him a lot. So it's weird. It's very like counterintuitive to what I'm saying, but amazing pick. I just don't know if you're gonna play him a lot. Now, Gengar. I gotta right the wrong for my last tier list video, kind of. He's nuts, dude. He's S tier. I think that like he's kind of pub stomp S tier, and so he may actually struggle a little bit when it comes to constructed team fights or just constructed play in general. Like he may not come online, he may not get his fed, because his clear in the early game is kind of slow. He's got to hit level 7 to get Hex, so he can do like teleport shenanigans all over the place. So, he's S tier right now. I think he'll probably stay there. He's just really strong. It's undeniable. His combos, his ultimate, his gank potential, it's all pretty crazy. So that's really the best I gotta say about him. My boy Garchomp, dude. Nuts jungler, man. Nuts jungler. A tier for sure. A part of me almost wants to put him S tier. I think he's pretty on par with Machoke. He just takes a little bit longer to get there. His end game is phenomenal though. So, if I'm comparing Machamp and Garchomp, there's barely a difference. It's just that Machamp kind of comes online a little bit faster, but I think that they have comparable end games. I think that they both add great to a team, great CC, great mobility, great unite moves, really, really solid, very, very strong A tier. All right, Crustle, listen, listen. he's not the go-to, right? He's not your go-to jungler, but that doesn't mean he can't get it done. And C tier is for those that are like, yeah, they work in the jungle role, but you don't really want to take them too much. The reason I put him on this list at all is because I've actually seen it done and it works. Like, I've seen it done. I haven't even played Crustle, but I've seen him jungle. It works, and it's kind of annoying. So given the right circumstance, given the right team, the right communication, probably work pretty good. But you're not going to really jump out of the gate playing Crustle, so in jungle at least. So maybe not pick him up right away, but still viable option. Zeraora. Do I need I say more, man? He's just, discharge is insane, his ult is insane, his high mobility, he's got a great early game. There's actually some really interesting like early game play between Gengar and Zeraora, because Zeraora wins a lot of those fights. So if there's an enemy Gengar, don't be afraid to be aggressive in that early jungle. He's just an S tier jungler, man. He's nuts. All right, now we get to talk about Cinderace. Cinderace is gonna hit the B tier, but the question is, why do I put him on this list at all? Because technically, I could put every Pokemon on this list because they all can jungle, but that's not what I'm doing. I'm actually putting junglers on here. Here's the thing with Cinderace. He is really, really strong. He could come out of the jungle like a bat out of hell and do crazy damage if he's got some good follow-up. And I think that having him in the jungle gives him a lot of XP, and you can kind of ramp him up faster than you could in other roles, but it's the same thing as Greninja. He needs constructed team play around him. Like, you don't really want to have like a triple attacker team, and so like picking him to jungle him in solo queue, it's probably just not going to go that smoothly because other people aren't feeling the same way, you know what I mean? They're not kind of like vibing in that same mentality as you. So Cinderace, really good jungler, insane clear, and he's a crazy champion. He's an S tier champion, easy. But as far as jungling goes, I would prefer to take Greninja because it's a little bit more feasible. I actually think that yeah, I don't know. They could probably fit in the same tier, but for the sake of even just the optics of it, he's like B tier because you really just can't pull it off and in solo queue, and it's just hard to even make that decision. But if you're playing with your friends and you want to build a comp around Cinderace jungle, it's pretty viable. It's like very viable. Charizard, man, listen, y'all are sleeping on my boy Charizard. This guy takes some time to ramp up, but his jungle clear is crazy. And I don't mean like his just normal jungle clear, because his early game is like honestly what's kind of bad about him, but it's not his clear that's bad, it's his lack of like reliable like hard CC that makes his ganks like not super good. Like, compare him to the all-rounders. You got Garchomp that has dig, and he gets that knockup, he gets the slow on earthquake whenever he gets it. You have Machamp that gets suppression, he gets that body slam. Charizard's got like a nice little pushback, but it's the strength of his Fire Blast that shreds camps, shreds Dreadnought, it shreds through Zapdos. It's the ultimate that he can just hard dive the back line. He's the best dive champion in the game. You literally fly over the top of everybody and pick your target and shred them to death. He's a nuts champion. He's being slept on. I'm one of the people that have like kind of maining Charizard. He's just nuts, dude. He's really, really strong. Yeah, I don't even know what to say. He's really, really strong. All right, Absol, formidable B tier. It's not quite Crustle level. I don't really care for him that much. He can carry games, but when he doesn't, he feels like he falls behind hard. It just like, dude, what can you do with him? I feel so bad. He's a great champion, really, really unique and fun, but you're just relying on those heavy hits so hard. I feel like he's much more item dependent, and I don't have a scope lens for him, so maybe I haven't really felt the full effect of him. But even then, man, high level play, you're just not seeing a lot of Absols because it just feels like they fall off toward the end game, and the end game is what really matters. So I don't know, you don't see a lot of them. And well, Talonflame, same thing. You just don't really see a lot of them because they just don't excel, they don't excel at what they're trying to do. They may be fast, they may have some good clear, but I don't know, man. I feel like Talonflame is just in a really, really weird spot. The irony is that I actually think Absol might be a better laner than he is a jungler. But it just depends on like how much he could, actually I don't even know. I just think he just doesn't scale well enough. Maybe if he could get really fed just by like bullying a lane, by like constantly diving on people, if that's even a thing. I don't know. I don't even know if what I just said made sense, but I'm just not a fan of him in jungle. So this is what I'm looking at the jungle list. You know, no supports on the list. I don't think any of them are actually really worth taking in jungle. It just gets a little gimmicky at that point. And as far as like Slowbro or Snorlax, nah, their CC and their utility that they have is just way too good in lane. Crustle is a little bit different. He kind of flies around all over the place like a madman. I don't really see any other attackers that like should or like make the list. Honestly, I need to mess around with Venusaur a little bit because maybe there's like a nice SP jungle thing you can do with him, make him kind of like a bruiser SP and see what he can do, but haven't really messed around with that too much. But this is that jungle tier list, so let me know what you think in the comment section down below. I definitely would love to know. I'd love to know why you're gonna tell me that Absol is better than he actually is, and that how I can't believe you put Absol above or under Charizard. I'm waiting for it now. But as always, friends, thank you so much for checking out the content. I definitely do appreciate it. Make sure you drop a like and subscribe for future videos. We're gonna be doing all kinds of educational stuff, tips, guides, everything you name it. I'll try to come out with it. So as always, be sure to be kind to one another, tell someone that you love them, and I'll see you on the next video.